Welcome to CTV Sports. I'm your host, Andrew Morgan. Rams basketball season ended with a thud, losing 6 of their last 7 games. Not to mention, my NCAA bracket has gone from 68 teams to, well, roughly 68 pieces. All right, now despite this win against Utah on Wednesday night, the Rams still find themselves on the outside looking in come Selection Sunday, which is just under 2 weeks away now. It's going to take a signature win on the road at the Aztec Bowl. Oh yeah, it gets me excited every time. I'm pumped because nothing beats a brand new football season. And this season brings lots of optimism to our boys in the green and gold. And the showdown is officially upon us. Moby Arena might be quiet and empty right now, but last season it was one of the most exciting college basketball atmospheres in the Mountain West Conference. The arena sold out twice last season, first time that's happened since 1990. Head coach Tim Miles and the athletic department have now built a fan base here in Fort Collins, referred to as Moby Madness.
You can see right there, Rich makes a clean hit, and Mosier clearly loses the football. So, Andy, talk a little bit about why plays like this are so important to the outcome of a football game.
I'll tell you what, that was very uncharacteristic of John Mosier, a team captain and a senior, but turnovers play a huge role in the outcome of a football game, just basically because they essentially lead to points. You look at points off of turnovers, the turnover ratio. Good football teams do not turn the football over, and their defense capitalizes on turnovers they're able to create. Absolutely. Andrew Rich was all over the football field. Basically what we're looking at right here is a Pete Thomas interception early in the first quarter. We're looking at cover 3 with a little bit of a wrinkle. Let's rewind it a little bit. Matt Yim's going to be open at the top of your screen a little bit over the 30-yard line, about the 31. Take the 10-yard out, get the 10 yards, and get the first down. Basically what Andrew Rich is doing, he's baiting Thomas, and Thomas takes the bait and tries to go intermediate, and Rich is able to come up with the interception, and BYU was able to capitalize off that turnover as well.
Thanks, Andy. Now, obviously, Pete Thomas made a few mistakes in the game, but he is the future of CSU football. What does he need to do to become an elite college quarterback?
You know what? I think he's already on his way to become an elite quarterback, and he's had his struggles, don't get me wrong. Freshman quarterbacks, you're going to have your ups and downs, but when you look at the numbers of what he's been able to do as a true freshman, this kid's got a bright future. No other freshman in college football history has been able to compile a higher completion percentage than that of Thomas at 66%. He's leading the nation, of course, right now. Coming in second in 1994 was Tennessee's Peyton Manning. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of him.
That's not bad company to be in.
Absolutely. So anytime you're able to be mentioned in the same sentence as Peyton Manning, like you said, you're in good company.
Now, everybody knows that tailgating has become a huge tradition as far as what the Rocky Mountain Showdown is today. But the real action in business takes place here at Sports Authority Field at Mile High.
It was their worst loss in exactly 6 years since a 49-0 setback at number 1 USC September 11, 2004. But Nevada is no Southern Cal. Head coach Steve Fairchild held his weekly press conference Monday to discuss the loss and reiterate the fact that the program is headed in the right direction. And what's homecoming without a little football? The Rams and Rebels provided a matchup between 2 1-5 teams, but the Rams look like the team Coach Fairchild has been telling us would come around in the second half of the season. Their prolific attack was center stage on Saturday, and they finally put all 3 phases of the game together. Roll it! Last week we previewed the competition at quarterback, which we'll keep you up to date as the action unfolds. Now, whoever emerges as a signal caller will undoubtedly have one of the deepest backfields in the nation. The Rams returned 92% of their rushing yards from a year ago and added a couple new faces to their rotation. This week, CTV Sports previews the competition at running back. The summer of 2010 was dominated by headlines concerning college football realignment. CU joined the Pac-10 conference, Nebraska joined forces with the Big Ten, but perhaps the biggest splash was made right here in the Mountain West Conference with the departure of Utah to the Pac-10 and 3 key additions coming from the WAC, all in hopes that one day the Mountain West will become a BCS qualifier. And the winner of the award comes out of the Mountain West Conference, Stephen Fisher of San Diego State. The NFL Combine and Pro Day events have created quite the stir amongst NFL scouts, GMs, coaches, and of course the players themselves. The question that always seems to arise, what translation, if any at all, come from those workouts onto an NFL field like this one? The green and gold look like a lock for the NIT, which is basically, well, the consolation bracket of college basketball, but hey, it's progress. It's not the way CSU wanted to end the season, but the Rams have had quite the turnaround over the past 4 years in which the Tim Miles era began. After starting the season 3-0, the CSU football team lost 9 straight to close out their year. With spring ball looming, the Rams are itching to get back in action. One of the more intense rivalries we have to look forward to every year takes place on the ice. The 2010 Rocky Mountain Center Ice Showdown is upon us. The Buffs and Rams put on a show every time they face off. Brace yourselves, it's hockey. It can get pretty graphic. Perhaps the biggest name to visit Fort Collins over the weekend
with CSU's all-time leading rusher, Steve Bartello. Bartello played for the Rams in the 80s, but hasn't been back to visit his alma mater in 15 years. Needless to say, the campus has had quite the transformation since he last left it. There's nothing quite like Major League Baseball's opening day. The grass is freshly cut, the atmosphere is electric, and a new season brings plenty of optimism across the country. All right, the Rams head west to Salt Lake City, Utah, in a matchup with the Utes, who are currently ranked 9th in the country. It'll be CSU's 4th game against a ranked opponent this season.